Obviously, you're not a golfer.
You want a tow? I can get you a tow. Believe me, there are ways, dude. You don't want to know about it. Believe me.
Walter.
Hell, I can get you a tow by 3 o'clock this afternoon with deal polish.
That rock really tied the room together, did it not?
Did it not?
Yes, it absolutely did. Hello, and welcome to this podcast. Really ties the room together. Myself, Joseph Eastwood Fresh, singer, songwriter, failed writer-director. It's not true. Movie's good, and I got gigs off of it writing, and I'm still doing that, so happy for that. We are doing, if you're new to the show, by the way, gotta say, we just started this, like, pumping out shows about 3 weeks ago, as of now. I don't know when this is going to come out. And we got, as of this morning, we had 11,000 views, well over 100 subs. I'm not saying that's like crazy gangbusters big, but for us it's pretty great. And I'm kind of liking this fact that there's a small group of people that seems to really enjoy what we're putting out.
For the content we're putting out,
Yeah,
that's pretty good numbers.
That's pretty damn good. For 3 weeks, we went from like 3 friends, which I'm pretty sure is just Shark and Rob and Bill.
It's probably like
Chef.
they've made 10 different.
You think it's all bots?
Yes. It's all clones.
And
I'm happy with that.
It's
as long
just
as we don't know.
Chef rewatching Delta Force clips over and over again. I'm gonna help you guys. You're gonna make it. But no, thank you so much for all that. If you're watching for the first time, we like to watch movies on the side of my barn in the summertime and make fun of them while we watch them. And we thought, why not just bring that to the show, to a podcast? Which is this one, and if you're watching the other show, which is inside the same feed, it's 20 and 21, essentially the same show, but with 2 other people, with my buddy Shark and Rob, and maybe we can just combine the whole show.
Well, I mean, they're my buddies too, but you know.
Well, yes, I didn't know.
I'm
if
just
you,
not part
I
of it.
wasn't sure if you were in with them. Shark was a little. Never mind.
30 years, they're still deciding on whether or not I'm kosher. Come into the gang.
But yeah, we might just combine the two. What are we doing today? Chuck Norris, Louis Gossett Jr. classic, Firewalker. I have a faint memory of watching this with my dad. Just the tail end of it though. That's all I had. When that part came up, I was like, I remember this from some childhood. It was much like Marcel Proust when he bit into that chocolate eclair. Mm-hmm. I had a revelation of sorts. A flood of memories came back with me and my father watching Shooty. That's my word for SHI. Really crappy.
It's a good grab there.
Yes. By the way, we're also a long-time running radio show on WDBX 91.1 in beautiful downtown Carbondale, Illinois. However, we've been moved to the midnight hour. So if you're listening and you're missing your old show, I apologize so much. You're like, who the hell are these 2 ass clowns talking about movies? That's an original thought. Yeah, what's next? I do have an idea for the gang that I've thought for a long time. True crime always sells, right? People love that true crime.
Right.
I had a show idea I've been pitching for a while called Serial Killers. But it's just us eating cereal.
Just killing it. Like an ASMR type.
And being like, Fruity Pebbles. Pretty good. Yeah, it's a little too sweet for me. It's a killer.
The worst ASMR shows.
I bet there's some freaks on TikTok that would love it. I'm going to put that out on TikTok just to see what happens.
3 weeks of that, and your microphone just smell like sour milk. And just like...
That does not sound good at all. I think we should do it. Spinoff, Serial Killers.
We're good at spinoffs.
It's just for TikTok.
I'm assuming.
The spinoffs are going better than the real show. We're doing Firewalker today. Chuck Norris said, hey, I'm already an action star. Why don't I try comedy?
Kind of a rom-com.
It's a little of a rom-com. It really wants to be Raiders of the Lost Ark, King Solomon's Mines, one of those movies.
Had anyone else other than Chuck Norris been in that role, I think it would have...
Here's the thing about Firewalker. You're going to confuse it with Firestarter. It doesn't have Drew Barrymore. This is a different movie. Here's the thing, though, really. on paper, I can see how this movie works.
Yeah.
If it had the right people in it, it could be like the jokes are horrible, but they're even worse because these guys can't sell it. Now Lou's doing
Lou,
great.
I thought Lou did great.
Lou's solid. Lou
Yeah.
has so much charisma compared to Chuck. At one point, Chuck Norris says, "I'm the charm guy," and I was like, "No, you're not." Leo is his
I
name.
guarantee you, if I read my notes out loud, the whole thing, there are at least 14 spots where I say Chuck Norris just does not have the charisma. Look, right here.
No charisma, no charm.
Buddy / rom-com, not for Chuck.
Not
On
for
this-
Chuck.
Not for Chuck.
You could put Marky Mark in there. Like if you remake this right now, it would unfortunately it would be The Rock
be-
and Kevin Hart.
It would be enormous.
But if you made it right now, basically took the same script, you couldn't have the Native American angle in it. But if you took the same script, put Marky Mark in there. He's like this. He's the upset guy. He's the Louis Gossett Jr. He's like, what do you do? What are we doing here? 200 miles in a stinking desert, and you have to drive a stinking Jeep into the stinking water. And then he turned to Chris Pratt, and he's like, what are the odds on that?
Right?
And it also occurred to me, this is a Marvel movie. The jokes that are in this movie are what Marvel writers think are jokes.
Right.
Which are just like that, what I just said. If somebody says something and then the other guy says something inappropriate, like,
Right.
what are the odds on that, you think? Like, just joking, just slagging it off. Yeah, we got caught by these terrorists. By terrorists, I mean brown-skinned people in Chinese golf carts? down dune buggies?
Yeah. Like they were the... I'll think of the word here in a minute. You just keep talking.
It starts
That's
off.
what you're good at.
It starts. It starts off. We know we're in luck. We know this is Dino De Laurentiis' baby.
They're like the clown, maybe, or like
Maybe they're in a desert. So
Yeah,
I was like,
right.
is this?
it's like a
It's
very,
ambiguous.
very distant Genghis Khan. Like I don't know exactly.
Yeah, because the other guy's from James Bond movie, is he not? The bald
maybe,
guy.
yeah.
I think he is. I think he shows up in Bond, and they're trying also to be Bond. That's the other movie they're trying to emulate because he literally, the guy comes up. It starts off. They're in the desert. They get chased. We know it's a canon movie, so you're like, canon.
Yes.
Dino, baby, let's do this. They're in the desert. They're being chased. A bunch of one-liners in a jeep. They get stuck in the water. Chuck looks good in safari gear, though. Got to give him that.
Yeah.
He looks nice in safari gear. I could tell in the first few minutes that we were in good hands with the care they took in their depiction of the terrorists. They get caught. They're tied up in the ground. Immediately had a problem with this. I wish I had a picture of it. They're tied up to posts, which they can get out one of three ways. One, they're straight tied, so they can literally just lift their hands straight up. Two, they're in sand. You can wiggle those posts until they get free.
Are we to assume that they're buried like 6 feet? Or
I guess so.
Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, the guy's a general. He's been through this before. He's not going to screw
That's
this up.
right. This guy comes up in literally a golf cart that has, it looks like it came from a Chinese parade.
Yeah.
Like with all the things hanging on it. I don't think he's Chinese. Maybe he is. What's he doing in the desert?
Chasing these guys.
Chasing
these
these
characters,
guys.
man.
He comes up and it says, Chuck's like, he's going to say something like, gentlemen, so we meet again. And then and Chuck does the accent, and that's why I did it.
Only Chuck did it a little more, I think.
Laid into it
Yeah,
a little bit more than I did.
He leaned into it.
Then the general comes up and he says the same line. He gives them a bottle of Perrier, and he said to like tease them. Chuck, like a flipping man, Chuck breaks it with his hand, uses the glass to cut it, even though he could have just slipped it himself. Freed Leo. So it's about
the whole time Lou's getting attacked by apparently desert ants or something.
Yes, that's right. Lou's getting attacked. So the movie basically is this. These two guys are adventure seekers, treasure hunters. They've been through a lot of adventures because Chuck is constantly
15?
telling...
15, I think Lou says. Because
15?
Chuck says like hundreds, and then Lou's like, no,
Yes.
this is 15.
So Chuck's constantly telling stories. Max is his name, which we got a great Max in the next movie we're doing, Mayax.
Yeah.
He may axe you when all's said and done. Anyway, Max and Leo are treasure hunters, thrill seekers, whatever. They're like Indiana Jones without the pedigree. They're like dirt bags.
Yeah, they're like entry level.
Yeah, they're entry level.
Yeah.
They've never scored. Like Leo's always talking. Lou is always talking about they've never scored. They've barely ever made any money.
But they always have a good time.
They always have a good time. They always get out. They always have some kind of crazy scraps. And they're supposed to come off as like funny and charming, but they come off as so stupid. Because it'll be something like Chuck Norris will say something like, but I knew there were no bears in the Himalayas, and that's when I knew I was dealing with Bigfoot.
Yes.
That's actually one of his stories. So yes, they get caught, they get tied up, they break free. He gives them his Perrier, he breaks it with his hand. They're escaped.
When they're getting chased and shot at, the bullets make a sound like they're hitting concrete and ricocheting in the sand. In the sand.
In the sand. Well, there's a ricochet shot later that
It's
lasts
killer.
conservatively
It's literally
30 seconds. It's like, once again, I'm always bringing up Hammer. I think we should watch Hammer, the old show Hammer.
Yeah.
I remember the same episode that Slag was in from class of 1999.
Mm-hmm.
He's surrounded by a bunch of punks, and he's got his big 45 or 44 or whatever it is he carries with him. And he's like, I got one bullet left. And they're like, there's like 20 of them. He's like, maybe I could get a lucky ricochet. That's what it totally reminded me. Once again, I had a flashback of watching Hammer and that joke. So then he says, "Oh, I wish I was drinking in that bar in Arizona."
Tubbs Bar or Tubbs
Bar? I think it's Tubbs.
I thought it was Tubbs too.
And like everything in this movie, we don't see how they solve any problems. They
Right.
just cut to a bar in Arizona.
Right.
We don't see them escape. We're just supposed to assume that they had a hell of a time getting out of the desert wherever they were.
This bar reminds me a lot of maybe the Schiller Playhouse back
Back in the day.
in the day. Like,
Yes, way back in the day.
Like you walk in, there's like two women.
What I did appreciate about it, though, is it seemed to have on your table a huge plate of sliced lemons.
Scurvy is not an issue there. There's no worry.
They were concerned about scurvy.
They're like, remember Bob got scurvy real bad. That ain't gonna happen again.
This was in oh shit, we didn't do the facts. I'm so sorry. I got excited about our viewers that I didn't do the facts. This came out in 1986, so it wasn't like people were a big. There wasn't like mixologists like myself on the scene. Home mixologists. I won't make that joke again. Number one, 1986. Who was the president? I won't say his name because I know you'll get upset. Let's see. Number one song. What do you think? Number one song.
Is it like
It's about humans by a band named after humans and a certain league of them.
Human League?
Human League. Human is the name of the song.
Yeah, I was gonna go like either Springsteen maybe.
There's one more big guy. Let's just say he's like a B. And he's got a number one here. It was right underneath this. And I'm thinking this was either right after it was number one for like a year or right before it was number one for a year.
So Sting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, wait, that's not Sting.
What's the song?
I don't even want to tell you now. Take my breath away. That's Berlin.
Yeah, it's Berlin. It's no wonder I'm wrong so much on here.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, my other guess was going to be like Starship, like we built this city. Got it. I feel like it was around that time. But
November '86. I couldn't find the show. Shows are really tricky to find. Sometimes you can luck out and find what the number one show was a month. Most of the time you can't. I'm guessing it was probably Cosby.
86?
86. It was probably one of the Cosbys.
It might have been like you can't do that on television.
It might be 60 Minutes. Number one movie, Clint Eastwood movie. I'll give you that. Written and directed. Military themed.
Man, I had it.
Might be worth a watch.
It's
also an Elvis song, part of it. Since my baby left me, she found a new place to dwell. Down at the end of lonely street at Heartbreak Ridge.
Yeah. I had it a couple times, and then you kept going. And it kept throwing me
Once
off.
again, President. And yeah, anyway, you know who it was. Trickle down.
Yeah.
Still trickling down. Hey, this director, J. Lee Thompson. You want to hear his list of I almost said songs? He's also a singer of movies. Listen to this crap. Guns of Navarone, baby.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm digging that
Death Wish.
one. Yeah?
Four. My favorite one, honestly. The rape's not quite as intense as all the
Right,
first three.
right.
Jesus Christ, those movies are fun to watch, except for the intense rape scenes that happen in every one multiple times. Like, oh, we didn't only rape your daughter, we then threw her out the window to be impaled upon a spike fence.
Rough. It's rough.
Rough. Murphy's Law. He loved Bronson.
Yeah.
Listen, I really like this J. Lee Thompson guy. He knows how to do action. He made The White Buffalo, which is a classic Western with
Yeah.
Bronson. I haven't watched it in decades, but when I was younger, I thought White Buffalo was great. He made King Solomon's Mine, which is basically this movie.
This movie, essentially, yeah,
With a better actor. And the original Cape Fear, which is a dope movie.
Really?
Yeah. And he made a couple Planet of the Apes movies. He made Battle for Planet of the Apes and Conquest for the Planet of the Apes. Actually, both of them are really fun. Whoa, there's an alien in here. There's something going crazy. You want to guess at the box office before we get back into the movie?
budget.
I don't have the budget. I can't find the budget. It was not out there.
Box office. I'm guessing 3 million.
11 million it made. So
He must have raised prices.
yep. Claimed it to be 3D. They're back in the bar. They have a bunch of lemons on the plate. Now this chick sits down. Sorry, this lady sits down. That you know she's looking for somebody. She needs to hire somebody. She sits down. Now she's got a potato chip. Did you notice this?
Yeah, it comes out of nowhere.
It comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
There are no potato chips on the table.
There's
anywhere
none
to
at
be
the
found.
bar.
She didn't get one from the bar. She just is talking and literally is like.
I don't know if she pulled it from her purse.
There's multiple shots where
Yeah.
it's changed. Why did you give her this potato chip? Once again, was it like the banana? Was she just hungry and literally like, there's a bunch of lemons here. I need a potato chip.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It was really funny. She makes a meal out of that potato chip.
The wine list.
What's the wine list? I
Yeah, she
didn't
goes
catch
up to the
this.
bartender.
Okay,
That's what she's talking
totally
about. She's
missed
like, I understand this place is, there's a lot of unseemly characters that come here. And he's like, what, this bar? And she's like, yeah. And then she's like, can I see the wine list? He's like, oh, I got it memorized. You want white or red? That's it.
That's good.
Obviously, like a good wine drinker, she chose red.
Once again, it's a Marvel joke. If Captain America was delivering that line, you would think it was hilarious.
Questionable characters.
Yeah, I don't like Marvel movies.
Questionable characters.
Got that far. Questionable characters. That's right. She's making a blah 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 blah. Now there's all of a sudden out of nowhere, bad guy shows up with a crossbow. Crossbow hits right behind him. We see that once again. We know we're in good hands because the depictions of the traditions of Native Americans in this movie is spot on.
Thoroughly researched. I don't even know if they researched. I think they just hired some legitimate, right?
They hired some Mexicans, put some paint on them. There's literally a scene.
As well as the Mayan and Aztec.
Mayan and the Aztec. There's a scene where they're in Arizona. Is that a ghost or is that a real thing that shows up? It's in like full on Aztec, maybe it's Mayan, like regalia. It's got a giant mask, big like straw boots.
I'm going to say it's real.
It comes out of a cave. And they say, let's just cut to it. She hires them. This is the first mission. And they go, she says like, but listen, I got this knife thing. Or no, wait, they're looking for the knife. She's like, there's this treasure. She doesn't tell them she's a witch yet. She's a witch. Spoilers. She's a witch. It's a hat on a hat on a hat, this movie.
Right?
And she's also psychic. Maybe, I don't know, they call her a lot of things in this movie. She hires him to go. They go there. They get there. There's some Native Americans there, which are depicted
Dead on.
so precisely perfect. One of them, which is not a Native American, it's a Mayan person with a giant like wooden mask. They come out with a spear, and Chuck Norris and Lou say, "What is it? What is it?" They say. It. Oh, man. You know what that means. We like to break up the film talk with a little silliness here and there. We'll be right back to the film, though. Boy, they take a real bad note there, though.
Yeah.
She says, though, this is the part I wanted to get to, also sensitive, well done part of the movie, is she says, I'm looking for the Cyclops is after me. And they laugh it up. Ah,
Dragons
a red Cyclops. Sea serpents, dragons. We charge extra for Cyclopses.
And he's red Cyclops.
Turns out he's a Native American who has an eye patch.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to. We like to review stuff here and there, just to, like I said, break up the monotony of the movie stuff here. Oh, there's old Chucky. Here we go. This is Firewalker. This is a young lady named Wing. Now, we don't like to watch Wing because we are making fun of her race or anything like that, or her nationality. We think Wing's passion is just incredible. And hey, let's skip that commercial. Here she is. Now, we don't get to see her do it live, but here we go anyway. Let's listen to Wing. I'm going to turn my mic so we can hear a little bit over there. No.
Her sense of timing, number one, is impeccable.
As a lifelong musician, much like comedy,
Timing is everything.
and Wing's got it, baby. I would like to shout out whoever it is. Their number one comment on this video is, please play this at my funeral. Which made me almost poop my pants. After a night of drinking, of course.
Oh, I wonder what AC/DC thinks of this. Like, surely
I hope they love it.
Someone has forced them to listen to this.
I feel like Angus has got a real good sense of humor. I think he would love it.
Yeah.
Malcolm's dead, so we don't know about him.
Yeah, we're running out. Really.
The drummer murdered his wife. Was in prison. So, all right. I hope they would be flattered because, boy, I like
Wing. Some Wing.
Wing's pretty great. Such passion she has. One of these times we need to get into these things called song poems, which are from the 70s, and these companies would basically put an ad in Rolling Stone and say, "Are you a songwriter? Send us your song. We'll record it for you. We'll put it on a compilation disc, and you'll have that to give to people, and it will be professionally done, et cetera, sung by a professional." So people would send in their lyrics, and then they would say, like, "Oh, by the way, you got to pay us $100 for this exclusive blah blah blah." A professional singer,
Which is what Welcome to the Jungle, I think, is about. That song is about all of this. Yeah,
that makes sense now that I think about it.
Yeah, nothing's free, baby.
That's right. You're gonna die. Then they would send you the record for $100, and these records exist out there. There's just hundreds of them. And essentially what they would do, they had studio musicians who would just pump out songs, like 25 to 30 songs a day. A singer would just put these new lyrics in front of them, and they would just sing. You know, they had like 10 to 12 formulas for songs, essentially. And you can find them on YouTube. The records, actual vinyl records, maybe Doc will start collecting these.
He's probably got
There's like a whole world of collectors.
90, 100 of them already.
There's a whole world of people that collect them because they're out there and they're unique to themselves.
I would say they're probably unique.
New York. All right, let's get back to the movie Firewalker. Let's see here. What's happening? We're up at the cliff thing. There's just a big statue at the top of the cliff. They find the cliff. They get in there. let's see here. She screams. They're finding skeletons, and Lou says, "Just a bunch of old people sleeping." Which I didn't get at all. What you got?
So when they're the Cyclops, he's peeking in the window at one point. Right?
Yes, yeah.
And so the window's like here. And when he peeks in, the patch is over his right eye. And while he's peeking in, and then he comes.
Does it move?
And then he comes back. Yeah, almost every scene that he's in, the patch is on a different eye, depending on.
Yeah,
It's on his right. It's on his left. Even Lacey was like, "Okay, which eye is it?" Because
I was super stoked to see that it was Sonny. Is that right? From Predator.
Yeah.
Because he's one of my favorite parts of Predator. Apparently, they had to hire a person to just follow him around to make sure he would get back to set. He was just a troublemaker, and he would get into fights. He was an ex-con. Seemed like a load of fun. Seems like my kind of guy.
Yeah.
They get in this thing. There's a bunch of skeletons. They find this cave art. It looks like a preschooler drew it.
It's terrible.
This cave art is so bad.
It's bad.
Caves in this movie, it really makes you appreciate good cave movies. They look like, what's the movie with the show with the Slee Slacks? Land of the Lost? Is that right? It looked like a Land of the Lost set.
First of all, if you're hired to go look for gold in a cave, screw flashlights. Why would you bring flashlights at all? Ever.
Yeah.
They never have flashlights, and they know they're going to a cave.
They're so ill prepared for everything. They have nothing at all. They just show up. No plan, no gear, much like Delta
No
Force.
water, no anything. Really, they're just like, we got this.
Do we think that maybe this is a retired Delta Force? Chuck Norris, scariest what he's doing now? Him and Leo's just hanging out.
Delta Force really had their success rate really skyrocketed after Max quit.
Yeah, Max picks up this skeleton. The eyes begin to glow. He's like, oh, he drops it and it breaks. And then this is where they find this dagger, this magical knife, which is so important. It's
which
like
has Mayan and Aztec and Native American.
Lou apparently is a freaking expert on everything.
Hieroglyphs,
He
everything.
speaks multiple languages. He's hieroglyphs. Hieroglyphics, I believe.
Yeah.
He knows, he can instantly identify the art that is both, Mayan and Aztec
And
and
preschool.
and Native American all at once. They had to tie all this together. Back at the bar. Oh, wait. Yeah. They get it, and then this native, there's a whole thing where they steal the girl for a second, and he has to shoot the guy I was talking about that comes in, the Mayan.
Mayan warrior.
We find out Chuck can't shoot the gun. He sucks, much like Harley Davidson. He can't shoot it. He throws to Lou. He shoots the guy with one shot. Boom, boom.
Yeah, but the guy was
dead.
like 2 feet away at that point.
He literally was like with a camera.
Yeah, and then he's like, well, I mean, I could have shot him from there. But like, why didn't you?
Is this where they're back at the bar? Yeah, he holds up the staff, the knife. This native guy is like, and he just jumps off.
Jumps
off of
like everyone always jumps off of cliffs, butt first.
Yeah,
With his feet
throws
out.
his legs.
He should have went down.
Crisscross applesauce. Yeah, man. Cut that. If Rob was here, he would be canceling us. I think that's called
Cross-legged. Hot scotch butter sauce or something like that.
crisscross butter.
Yeah.
Crisscross butter sauce. That's what it's called. Crisscross applesauce. That's what he should have done.
That's what I said.
Back at the bar, say Lou identifies the thing as Aztec Mayan. Then this is a great scene where they go see a guy named Tall Eagle.
Tall Eagle. My favorite character in the movie.
He's tall, and he is well done. He's a very charming fella. His acting's great. Unfortunately, they
Get nothing from the guy.
Give him nothing to do. He's watching, instead of being like, here's the classic Native American who is in touch with nature. He's watching I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
And talking about how he hates Lucy.
I don't know how he puts up with her.
I'd cut her nose off if she was mine. I'm like, whoa. Well, there's went your wisdom, tall eagle.
He tells stories and they gain no information from this guy.
No, nothing.
And they're going to give him 22% because,
That's right.
Because Max screws
There's a
this
whole
up.
thing that Max screws it up. Like they have he's like, well, what do I get? The spirits need something. And he starts talking about spirits, and his hair starts blowing.
They should have had him step on a button. They should have made that part of his shtick.
It should have been a joke. You see behind him, he's got a little tank that sprays hair. Red light comes on. They can see it.
Because they're all like,
what the heck's
what?
going on?
Yeah, his hair is flowing in the wind inside.
They bring him a bottle of booze,
Right.
which I'm like, great. Stereotype guys. He loves
We know
it.
they like it.
He's just like, oh, yeah. Give me that bottle of cheap booze. I didn't see what it was.
Snake bite.
Yeah, he called it snake bite. I didn't see what kind of booze it was. He brings up the great spirit, the life, blah, blah, blah. Story of the Firewalker. Here it is. He flew to the sun. The Spaniards came to steal his gold. He flew to the sun. You're not going to believe this story, he says. And he tells him the story of the Firewalker and how he gathered all the gold. And he flew to the sun. He died when he flew to the sun? Is that what happened?
He went there to recharge. But
He
has
went there to
come back.
recharge, much like Superman.
Right,
He needs
yeah.
the yellow sun of planet Earth to recharge his body.
Marvel movie.
It's a Marvel movie, you guys. Just replace the Native Americans with some kind of alien.
Aquaman.
Aquaman. He gives the lady, which we don't learn her name until literally the last scene of the movie. It's Patricia.
Patricia. Yeah. No, I think we.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
I just kept writing lady down.
Yeah. I just kept writing Pat because
He gives her a bag. She says, "What's this?" She says, "Bones and dust."
bones, dust, and magic.
And magic.
Yes.
Doesn't
no,
tell
no,
what-
no directions.
No direction. Just here it is. I'm not going to tell you what to do with this. This is where they're staying overnight. She's drunk, maybe, or is this where we find out she's a psychic? She throws a knife at a map.
Yeah, I think she's drunk because
And,
they're drinking that.
Oh, that's right.
This is kind of like the Schwarzenegger scene.
That's right. She throws a knife. She says, "This is where we're going." And of course, Lou looks at it and says, "Perfect. It's right in between Aztec and Maya." I'm like, no, it's not. It's just somewhere in northern.
Lou's great at
South.
hieroglyphics, terrible at
It's
geography. literally
like by Colombia. Somewhere in South America, the northern section there. So what is this here? A native guy comes in with a drink. Oh, yeah. This lady comes in out of nowhere. She's
Pretty lady.
She's like, "I got a drink for you." Chuck doesn't even consider that it might be foul play.
No.
He says,
Yeah,
she says something about a potion, and he says, "I never turned down a good potion." And the writer of this
I mean,
movie.
she did bring up Tall Eagle's name.
She did bring up, she said, Tall Eagle sent this to you. Now, Tall Eagle warned us that there's going to be a coyote out there. And beware the coyote. So I'm like, is it a cyclops or is it a goddamn coyote? Which one is it?
That's
Both.
part of my notes. It's always Cyclops, red Cyclops,
Red
slash
cyclops
coyote,
slash coyote slash the guy
Indian.
from Predator.
Yes.
Eye patch is chanting. This is when I was like, oh, it's Predator. Tall Eagle's also doing some chanting. Now, this is what I thought. I am so glad they took the care to really go into. I mean, they must have just really studied the genuine traditions of these Native Americans, because this part, I'm not joking. The rest of the movie's trash, but this part is even worse trash than the rest of it. It's god awful. Eye patch is chanting. He passes out. And you see Tall Eagle. Somehow they're like what? Like chanting against each other? It's
Yeah.
almost like Saruman and Gandalf in Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
when they're doing like the cross battle.
Yeah.
Across,
They know-
across the winds. Like they know each other. They know
You
what's
know that
happening.
I know that.
I know that you know.
Yeah.
Listen here, Tall Eagle. I know you're out there trying to spoil my plans. I'm going to get the gold. Oh, he doesn't care about the gold.
No.
I'm going to fly to the sun
Yeah, that's
and
what he wants.
become the Firewalker. And then he always tells
What
his
is there
plan,
to,
and then he
to
does
do
this.
on the sun? It's just how all Native Americans
Well, yes.
have always laughed
Once
throughout
again,
time.
carefully detailed on how they laugh. Man, he was actually a native, but crazy guy. That's his choice. Whatever.
But what's the perks of being this Firewalker guy? Like, you're just walking around in the sun, like...
I think you get all of his power, and then you can come back to Earth and just do whatever you please, I guess. You're just going to run rampant.
But if he's that powerful, wouldn't more people have heard about him? Wouldn't it just be more than one tail that
I don't think
Tall
so, man.
Eagle knows and
You
nobody else?
gotta Now, here's a good... Well, at one point, they're dressed up as two priests and a nun.
Yes.
Chuck's just down in this bottle of booze. He just becomes an alcoholic mid-movie. He's just got a bottle of booze. He's just down in the middle
Which
of the day.
actually kind of sells the outfits, I think. But
It does. And at one point, she says, I thought priests were teetotalers. And he says, I thought nuns were supposed to be virgins. And she has a weird look on her face. Later, she's going to get sacrificed by this guy, the Firewalker himself, the Coyote Cyclops.
Yep.
Is going to kill her. Is she a virgin? Is that why she made the face and why the joke is there? And does she have to be a virgin for the Firewalker to sacrifice her?
I don't think...
You don't think so?
I don't think.
You don't think Firewalker can smell her hymen?
I don't think virginal has it any...
You don't think one of Firewalker's powers is he can, like, she's got her hymen intact?
I don't think she does. So if that's one of his powers, it's shorting out.
Because Chuck is failing miserably at trying to hit on her. The things he says that I'm like, is he trying to flirt with her?
San Miguel, by the way, is where they're at.
Oh, San Miguel. Let's see. Oh, who is this? Some dude comes in and carries the native out because Chuck passes out.
That was the...
Is he like the housekeeper or something?
Yeah, he was in a few scenes.
The lady gives Chuck the drink. Of course, he passes out immediately. She gets out the knife. She's going to kill him with the knife as slowly as... If you're going to kill a guy...
Yeah, just do it.
Just do it.
It's a Bond scene.
It's a Bond scene in which, like, hey, I was sent here to poison and then kill this guy, but I'm going to take my sweet time.
Right. I'm going to check out what else is in the house while he's unconscious.
Hey, is that a picture of his niece? She's a cute girl. Oh, who's that over there? Oh, I didn't know.
What kind of booze does he have here?
This guy, let's see his watch history on his TV. Is this guy a real freak or what?
A lot of terrible movies on his
This guy's been watching nothing but Canon movies. His Amazon Prime's filled with shit.
Mine is terrible. Mine is terrible.
She's got the knife above him, conservatively 2 minutes. The lady wakes up, is that right?
Yeah,
Because she has a psychic witch
yeah,
feeling.
Well, Tall Eagle woke her.
That's
with
right.
his chanting.
That's right. Tall Eagle wakes her with his chanting. She comes in, starts fighting with the lady. Sweet cat fight. Not really. It's really lazily done. They just roll around a lot.
it's-
Chuck is passed out cold. And then he has to wake up Leo, because she's not getting the job done. Lou comes in there. Then
Just at the nick of time.
just in the nick of time. Then we see a guy just like throw her in a hayloft or something.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be like you're not supposed to be able to get out of this room.
Cannot get out of there.
Yeah.
Then
Next
they come
day, she's gone.
Next morning they come in, she's gone, and then we slowly tilt up to a snake in the corner of the room. Is that her?
Yeah.
She turned into a snake.
Because the next scene, they're going somewhere and there's another snake.
Oh man! Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't even put that together. They're in a plane. They have a fire in the engine. This is very Indiana Jones. Like, we're in a plane to travel somewhere. Uh-oh, the plane's going down. It's literally like they read the Indiana Jones script. It's like, what should we do here? They land in a...
But they don't do anything with it.
No, they just, like, kind of land somewhere.
Yeah,
it's not like they have to jump out or
Yeah,
save themselves.
the motor's on fire. The one guy comes back to get a parachute.
Yeah.
And then they just land.
They just land. They're like,
It's-
oh, we're going to
it's
make an
fun.
emergency landing
No
in this
big
weird
deal.
town. Yeah, nobody's hurt.
Why didn't they have the guy jump out? That'd have been great.
It would have been wonderful.
And then
Like it clashes, Indiana Jones style. It
Chuck
crashes
and Lou
into a
have
mountain.
Chuck and Lou have to land it.
Yeah.
And there's comedy ensues.
Oh yeah,
you know?
you're right. I don't know how I ain't flew a plane since '76.
Perfect landing.
Take the yolk. You don't know what to do with the yolk. What is this, an egg? Like it would.
We just wrote the whole scene right there. What, 14 seconds?
I already had breakfast, Leo.
I bet they
Stop your joking, Max.
I bet they had it. I bet they had it and edited it out because the movie was too long.
Man, by the way, Richard Marx, the editor, wonderful songwriter.
Wherever you go, whatever you do, keep editing.
Keep
'cause
editing.
You're doing a fine job.
Did not do these guys any favors. There were beats where they would be like somewhat funny. Like Chuck would say a thing. Like the girl came in and like yelled at him like, "Fruitcake, you wouldn't be here without me," and like blah 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 blah. And then they cut back to the two and they have a line, and it's great. And they're just like looking at each other, and then they hold on it for another 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, and then Chuck says, "Wow." God, it's like, cut that out, you moron.
Right.
That scene worked until you just let that hang for so long. They're in a plane, they land, and they're just in this weird town. I just wrote down bad editing. No, you're not helping at all. Oh, because it was the fruitcake scene. Let's see.
$100 for info.
Oh, yep, $100 for info. Is that where he stands up in the bar? He's like,
Yep.
"We need the info." There was a heads or tails trick that was pretty fun. It was
Yep.
very classic Buddy. Like, heads, you take 4 or 2 or whatever, and he's like,
Right.
heads, tails, and he flips it, and as he flips it, they
Punch the guys.
They knock some
They're-
guards out.
they're blocking them from entering the bar.
from entering a bar. You know, that's
Well,
how it happens in these towns.
A lot of people don't like us white folks getting in their bars.
No. He offers 20, then 40, then 50, then $100. Let's see here. What? I have something about an inmate. She tells him that she has. Oh, she tells him that she has visions, and he's like, "I want to get intimate here with you." Do you remember this?
Yeah.
He's just talking to her, and he's like, "I was hoping you'd tell me something intimate," and she's like, "Well, I've always had visions since I was a child. I have dreams that come true, and I learn things or whatever. I'm a psychic witch or whatever." He's like, "Oh, I was hoping it'd be like so you slept in the nude or something." It's like, "I do." That was the best interaction in the entire
It
movie.
was.
that Lou didn't have.
City is
Oh,
Vidal Gutierrez is the guy that they're looking for. Apparently,
Is that right?
That's the information I think
Okay.
the guy gave him.
did you notice? I don't know if you're a huge Seinfeld fan. That the informant guy that takes the money is Mr. Pitt. It's Elaine's boss, Mr. Pitt.
Oh yeah.
He was just a lot rougher looking. They had him kind of done up, and he talked crazy. He then goes back to Coyote and tells him the information, and he's like, "Should I get paid now, Mr. Coyote?" And
That's
Coyote's
the
like,
last we see.
he's like, "You want your payment?" I don't know how he talks. I don't want to do his voice because it's kind of stereotypical.
Yeah.
I don't know how Tano did it. But yeah, he's like, "You want your payment?" And this sets up later. He's got this kill move where he just puts your head
Yeah. What's the deal? With
against the wall. I don't know how it works.
It's like the facial claw.
It is like the facial claw, but it's like into a wall. Meanwhile, nobody's fighting back with their hands or anything. They're just going like this. It's like literally a wrestling thing. I got one hand on you.
I wonder if they brought in the Von Erichs to teach him that claw move.
Zac Efron himself came in there and showed him how it was done.
It's a possibility.
It's really fun. We're going to see this later. Come back. He puts him in the thing there. Let's see here. Sleeping the dude. Chuck gets up, Mr. Pitt. He turns on him. Chuck turns. There's a big fight in the bar.
Huge guy. Guy
Well,
calls his mother a pig, his father a dog. No big deal.
Oh, that's right. And then Chuck jokes, "Did he say anything about my sister?" Which I was like, once again, Marvel joke.
Yeah. Lou tells him he said that Chuck,
Yes.
has sex with goats.
Yep.
Max chokes him out after a big fight with Lou.
Yeah, he's telling
Lou does terrible.
Lou does terrible. Lou's telling him, like, "Don't lose your temper. We can work this out." And then, yes, he tells Lou something bad, and Lou jumps on him, does terrible. They're just watching
Just
him
gets
fight.
pummeled.
Once again, on paper, this should work, but you can't really hear them fighting. There's no sound. The sound was horrible in the movie. So nobody took the time to really put punches or grunts in the background. He's like, "Oh, yeah. Now all of a sudden, we're back. The guy gets killed by Coyote. The guy was talking about, Mr. Pitt.
Right.
Now they're in the priest outfit. They're on a train.
Hold on. We have to.
Oh, what
we
happened?
have
What
to
did I
address
miss?
something else.
What did I miss here?
So the fight, the rest of the fight that breaks out in the bar.
Okay.
Chuck, Lou's knocked out.
Wait,
Basically.
yes.
Chuck takes on. I counted 18 different guys. Beats the crap out of. He's attacked by 18 different guys. Yes. Not including the big guy or the two that he knocked out at the door when they came in.
Well, he puts a choke on the big guy first, right?
Yeah. So that guy, the big guy's choking Lou.
Keep going.
Max picks him up, chokes him out.
Yes.
The rest of the fight ensues. So 21 guys total. He takes out, which is not bad, even for Chuck. I mean, that's some work. So.
Yes, I wrote a series of kicks and punches. Take out all the guys.
All of them.
Because Lou is injured. I believe the lady is.
Yeah, the lady is
with him.
Patricia's tending to Lou.
Yes.
Chuck is kicking the crap out of everybody in this bar, and they just keep coming at him. You'd think they would learn, but they don't.
It's Chuck, man.
You could top me off there if you don't mind. 18 guys.
18 individuals.
Yeah.
We're having a little refill here for the podcast listeners.
The train gets stopped by the military.
Yes, and this also goes nowhere.
Yeah.
Everything that happens to them goes nowhere. It's just like
another thing that happened to him.
Another setback that's not really a setback because it just turns out to be
they get
fine.
chased a little bit in the banana field.
The banana field, there's I think I had it, but I didn't make a thing out of it. The drunk guard who tries to, it's a PG movie, there's a drunk guard who straight up tries to rape our Patricia lady.
She takes care of that, though.
She does, though. She takes care of herself.
Hold her own.
She can hold her own. Even though it's a series of her getting taken and them trying to find her. They stop the train. They take out the car, the room right next to them.
Right.
And kill this guy. Then they call the priests in.
Shooting.
They shoot him. You assume he's dead. But then they come in with the priests, and they're like, we need you to give last rites to this guy that we just shot.
Right.
Like, we're bad guys, but we don't want this guy to go to hell. I mean, I want to condemn his soul to hell for all eternity, for God's
everyone
sake.
in that area is either Mayan or Catholic.
Yes, that's right. We all know that Mayans were hardcore Catholics. It's just in their history. Look it up.
It is.
If Shark was here, he'd tell us all about it. Catholic.
knows it.
He'd be like the Pope. Goes way back with the Mayans.
First three were Mayan.
That's right. It's real history. This is shit you
Look
won't
it up.
learn.
Look it up.
In the new education books of school.
They're wiping out Mayan culture, man.
Telling you lies. They stop. They're like, please give these guys last rites. They do a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Lou talks in pig Latin.
Yeah.
He's
Say
like,
something in Latin. I don't know Latin.
I don't know. Yeah,
Say it anyway.
Say it anyway. He does it. Chuck blesses the guy. They're like, oh my God, you saved him. They're like, the bullet's not that bad. Oh, suddenly they're like, oh, the bullet's not that bad. The wife finds his papers. They didn't have his papers.
Yeah.
Next thing we know, they're in the frickin' banana fields. They're getting chased. Once again, great Chuck Norris plan. They're in all black running through a green field. Until the lady takes her habit off and does all that.
Just ripping through these notes.
They're going to a let's see. Oh yeah, I wrote down Chuck is just hammering that booze.
Yeah.
Middle of the day, he's on the run. He's like, he's full on alky at this point.
Right? Some people think better, you know.
I guess so. They end up in a burnt down village. A truck full of soldiers show up and chase them. Drunk soldiers. That's where we get the almost rape. After they get out of this, they're back at camp. Actually, I think it's right here.
Yeah.
And this is where we have a sensitive, let's get to know the characters moment at like 1 hour and 20 minutes into the movie. Leo says he wants to sail around the world with his money, and we get a little bit of time with him. And then Chuck's really making moves on Patricia.
Yeah.
Max and Patricia, they are getting there, if you know
Matricia?
what I mean. Matricia. That's right. And you know what happens? Is that right? And I also wrote, isn't that the guy's dream in Romancing the Stone? To get a yacht and sail around the world?
I mean, isn't it everyone's dream? So I don't think doubling up on that.
No, not mine. I want get me the hell away from the ocean and the yacht.
Nah, man, I'm there.
Not me.
If I had a yacht and someone that could drive it,
I was gonna say, are you gonna be driving?
and like 2 security guys,
Then suddenly the Cyclops.
put me in the Caribbean.
This is the weird part. Cyclops is there.
Right.
How did he get there? We don't know. He's literally like right outside the camp watching them.
In San Miguel.
And San Miguel trying to get her to. She's got
Jedi
the knife.
mind trick.
Jedi mind trick. He's walking to her, and then Max all of a sudden is like, "Hey, be careful!" And she's like, "Oh, I don't know what I was doing." Coyote just gives up. I'm like, "Coyote, you're a big bad dude." And then at the end of the movie, Jesus Christ, we're about out of time. At the end of the movie, we realize it's a bunch of stupid crap. Do we want to go? Are we going to miss anything?
Yeah.
Super important here.
Absolutely.
Leo gets taken.
We missed this part right here where I say
Shoot.
Chuck really does not have the charisma for movies. Again. But
Oh yes, of course.
are they soldiers? Are they rebels?
I don't.
That's what I put at that point. But then they were
They
rebels.
turned out
they
to
were
be
rebels.
yes. Leo disappears. She's gonna take a bath. She's like, "Ooh, this dirty river. Let me take a bath in it." Great idea. You know, whenever I see a dirty pond, I'm always like, "Hey, bath time." And Chuck's like, "No, you're not." He throws a rock out. It's actually a pretty cool shot.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how they did that. He throws a rock out, short of putting a gator in the pond, and a gator swims out. And I'm like, "Holy crap!" And she's like, "Well, I better not do that." Then they're like, "Man, they're gonna bang basically." And Leo's over by he's washing the dishes.
Yeah.
For
Giving him a little privacy.
Giving him a little privacy. And he's looking over and he's smiling. He's happy his boy Max has found somebody that gets him. You know, they've been out there on the road so long and on their adventures together, lonely nights. And cut back to Max and Patricia. We hear a kind of a sound. Leo's gone. And then like
Little blood on the...
that's right, little blood. We see an alligator swimming away, a crocodile. And she's like, "Oh no, you don't think, do you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, the crocodile ate a full-grown man and swam away, you
Do we
moron."
think that the crocodile was actually Coyote?
Whoa, I didn't think about that.
I mean, obviously, snake, they can turn into snakes, so...
They
they
have
can
him
turn
underneath
into-
the water, holding him down
Carrying him off,
with
man.
his crocodile hands.
Yeah. Maybe he had actual...
Sounds like Louis Gossett is a big man. There's no way that alligator,
Skinny legs, big man.
crocodile could take care of that much. Anyway, they wake up, right? There's soldiers with guns on them. Oh, but first he has to search for Leo. And by search, I mean
Just yell and kick
he
stuff.
stays around the camp and goes, "Leo! Leo!" And she's like something like...
Takes it out on her,
takes it out on her, then
Basically.
kicks a bucket.
like every man should.
What's he do here? He says something ridiculous. I wrote it down. I don't know where it is though. Yeah, I didn't write it down. But yeah, he kicks something into the fire and is like, "It doesn't matter anymore." It's this big acting part. It's horrible. These rebels take him. Now this made me really uncomfortable. Just the scene where there's like 50 guys that grab Patricia
Yeah.
and take her down this hill.
And they're supposed to be cool with it.
And Max seems like he could care less.
Well, I think he might realize that at this very moment, there's not a thing I can do about this. So,
I guess so.
like, what is struggling or yelling gonna do?
Well, he's so
at this
cool,
point?
you
Yeah.
know. They
Then
put.
we meet Corky.
Or wait, do we find Leo before that? No.
No.
Yeah, because this happens before Leo's taken. We got ahead of ourselves because they get to a place. You're gonna get their heads chopped off here. Leo gets taken the next night. I think there's multiple camping scenes.
Yeah.
Turns out it's Gimli. They're like, "We're gonna chop our heads off." They're so nervous. They're like, "Oh my god!"
The scene right before, he's like, "We just got to keep our heads."
That's right. We just got to keep our heads.
Tons of just Jim jokes
Once
like that
again,
in this movie.
Marvel joke. cut to, head on a thing. They put melons in front of them. I'm like, yeah, executioners always show you how sharp the knife is before they kill you. It's just a courtesy thing they do. And right before, he's like, what's he waiting for? He's like, I don't know. Are you in a hurry, Max? Which I thought was kind of a funny line. And then we hear the voice of
Corky.
Gimli himself, John Rhys Davies, is that his name? From Lord of the Rings, from Indiana Jones, just one of the best. He shows up. He's like the king of these rebels, and he knows them. And I always knew you weren't. I knew you weren't cut out for jungle warfare, Max. And
So he's ex-Marine, but is Max ex-Marine or is he ex-Delta Force? We don't know.
We don't know. Oh, that would have been awesome if he was Delta Force.
Yeah.
Yeah, this English guy is an ex-Marine. With this brogue accent that he has. Camo, I don't know if he's Irish, whatever. Anyway, he's drinking a bottle. Oh, wait. Yeah, chopping block. We figure out it's Gimli. They're having a good time. They got the ladies. She's dancing. Oh, no, we're out of time. He drinks this entire bottle of booze.
Just chugs the whole bottle.
Yeah, just chugs the entire thing and says, I have the charm to do it.
I have the charm, too.
Yeah, so he's talking about he's going to become the king of these people. Hey, listening out there on WDBX 91.1, thank you so much for listening. We love you.
We'll finish a movie one day.
We will finish the movie. Tune in to 20 and 21, wherever podcasts are found, if you want to hear the rest of it. Good night, everybody. Now we're on the motherfucking podcast. So he calls him a son of a bitch or something. Downs the whole bottle. Next morning, he gives him this bug. He's like,
The command vehicle.
The command vehicle. This is my finest vehicle. My command vehicle.
Camo.
It's a camo bug. It looks like it was painted the night before.
78 Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah.
With balloons.
With balloons on it. Hey, Goldster, you all right?
What? Sorry, Goldie.
She didn't like those balloons,
No.
apparently. There's a bunch of more stupid stories.
They go through this rainforest jungle
in a
in a Volkswagen Bug. And I have no trouble.
No,
just crawling right
just
through.
crawling through it.
I didn't
Slow.
know. I didn't know that they were that
Dude, bugs.
off-road, dude.
That's why they call them bugs. A lot of bugs in the jungle.
Shut up. Dude, that's awesome. If that's... Is that true?
Hitler knew that. Once again, Hitler did some okay stuff, you guys. Fucking morons.
This is where they set up camp.
This is where they set up camp. Leo gets what we
We're
said earlier.
screwed up.
Leo gets taken. This is where Chuck, he kicks the fire, the bucket of the wire, and he yells, "Who cares?" I literally laughed out loud. First time in the whole movie.
Yeah, it was bad.
The car stinks. The car stinks and sinks. He's like, they pull up to a river. She's like, how do you know it's a good place? He's like, it's a good place to cross. She's like, how do you know? He's like, because it's my job to know.
It's my job.
Immediately sinks the car. I did think that was kind of a funny bit.
Yeah.
He doesn't like swimming.
She
no, he doesn't. He can't
swims
swim.
like an Olympian.
She swims like a champ, and she
he
loves it.
Dog paddles.
He dog paddles.
Straight dog paddles.
She says two lines in a row that really upset me. That the writer, it had to be improv because I'm not saying the writer that wrote this was great. She goes in the thing that I write it down here. She says, nothing like a good morning swim to blah, 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 to get the blood going, right? Mm-hmm. Chuck's complaining, whatever. Then they're walking, and then she says, nothing like a brisk walk after a swim. And I was like, no, you have a yeast infection. You have not bathed for days.
Right.
You just got wet, and you've been walking for an hour in wet clothes
In a rainforest.
You need medication. I don't know.
Yeah, you're not chipper. You're not
like, hey,
You're not filling your oats.
brisk walk after swimming in a lagoon filled with bacteria
Yes. Amongst many other things.
and alligator shit and wall and fucking. I was just like, this is fuck you.
But then all of a sudden they just walk up on the temple like, oh, there it is.
There it is.
No big deal. It wasn't even that far.
It wasn't.
I was
There's
like,
literally a road that almost drove them to the fucking.
How has no one found this in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years.
Gotta be Chuck. You gotta take that. Everybody else looked at that river and was like, "No
Nope.
way we can cross
We can't
this.
cross in this Volkswagen.
Road ends here." Yeah, in a Volkswagen. Nobody thought to swim across ever, or make a raft, do a rope
Not with
thing.
those Crocs, man.
Beastmasters are smarter than this. Let's see. It's yeah. I just wrote down. She is sopping wet down there. This is not good for anybody.
Well,
You
just
were-
think of what Chuck. Chuck's not living the dream over
Chuck's gonna have swamp ass
Yeah.
for sure, and
Yeah.
swamp balls.
there. And,
But that's just gonna smell bad. He's not gonna start having a. He's not gonna
Could be a-
start having a salty discharge.
no. Well, no.
He's not gonna have a foamy discharge. He's not gonna have to go see the doctor over it. He's just gonna have to wash his balls.
Correct.
Women have it way worse than us.
Women are so lame. It's like, oh.
We need Rob here to keep us in line. Yeah, they find the cliff. There's nothing is a challenge in this movie.
No,
They're like,
the temple's
they
there.
find the cave the first time. He's like, well,
Yep, we're here.
no cave here. She's like, yeah, I think it's behind that tree. Cut to, they're inside the cave. Here, she's like, where is this place? Oh, there it is. It's a temple.
Everything is just, well, it's because she's a witch, dude.
Oh, that's right. She knows where she's
Yeah,
going.
she fills the pool. She's got the force, dude.
I wrote there's a giant gorilla popped out, like a big statue.
Yeah, there's a statue. It comes right out.
I was like, I also wrote down Indiana
reason.
Jones is so pissed watching this.
And then I have fuck flashlights again.
None. And I also wrote down at one point, I'm glad these caves are so well lit.
Yeah. They are. It's just like mood lighting.
Mood lighting, there's
Yes.
blue lights everywhere.
Yeah.
Just like a cave is.
There's Leo hanging from the ceiling.
There's Leo, he's hanging there, and fucking goddamn it, Chuck is like, what you doing up there? Like it's his fucking choice. Like Leo's like, I've been exercising up
Yeah.
above this boiling
Just
fucking
got
water.
tired. I'm hanging around.
What the? I wanted Leo to be like,
Now,
what
hey,
the,
where's the bad
what
guy?
the fuck do you mean? What am I doing up here?
Where's the bad guy?
Stupid
Would have been
honky
my
piece
first
of
question.
shit. Yeah, who did this? Where's the coyote / Cyclops?
Is he gonna get me before?
Or my lady? By the way, do you have any sanitary napkins? Because she has a problem right now.
Yeah, bad.
In all of our adventures, Leo, I have never experienced this much vaginal discharge. What the fuck you talking about, Max?
They walk in. Leo's like, "Oh, it smells like a crocodile just walked in." All of a sudden, he's like, that's Patricia."
Did you guys fucking roll around in some dead crocodile? The fuck is that smell? What the fuck? Somebody does not like our content.
You know what? Go ahead.
You gonna answer this
I'll
live?
take care of this.
I'm gonna answer this live on air. Is that what's happening?
Tire, man.
What's it? Yes, I'm gonna be done talking about vaginal discharge. I think that was the cancel culture police that just got us. Let's see here. Cyclops grabs the rope that Leo's hanging from. He comes out. He's like, it doesn't matter, Leo. What are you doing up there? Cyclops comes out. He's like, I will cut this rope and let your friend die. It's not stereotypical at all. He's like, I'll save your friend if you give me the knife. He's like, all right, I'll do it. Max just caves instantly. He's like, all right, I'll give you the knife. I don't want my buddy Leo to die. He's like, you can let the woman go now as a show of good faith or something like that. She takes off. Door shuts, and he instantly turns Coyote and says, "You fool! I've tricked you. You fell right into my trap. It is the woman I need to sacrifice, and then with her blood upon this blade, I shall fly to the sun and become the Firewalker." And then he does that great thing where he goes, and then he just walks out the tunnel cave. Door does not shut behind him. Then there's a real weird scene. He's got her. He's going to sacrifice her. It's almost sacrifice time here. He says he's going to become the Sunwalker. He does his laugh. he gets the lady, and this is where it was super pervy. He's got an outfit for her. Oh, Goldster's happy you're back. Oh, Goldster, we can hear you.
Give me some Dobbin. This is a PG show, Goldie.
That's right. Well, it's not anymore. He says he's going to kill her, blah, blah, blah. It shuts. He laughs. Ha, ha, ha. He has this outfit, and he's like, put this on.
Yeah.
And she's like, what?
Why? You know?
No,
You're going to kill me.
And
What's
he's just
the matter?
like, is insistent about it.
Yeah.
Put it on.
Yeah, he's doing the Jedi mind trick
Put
again.
this on. Listen, this is my thing here, and I want you in this fucking toga.
It puts the outfit on.
It's not going to look good. The red blood against your brown fucking clothes isn't going to look good. I need white. You understand? Have you not ever seen a movie? That's how it works, bitch. Max jumps on Leo. They start swinging. Of course, they get free. It's their fucking movie. They're not going to die.
It does take a while.
It does take
There's a lot of
it takes them a long time of swinging.
Just a
Just a bunch of intercuts with Predator. Just a swinging.
The rope breaks more than anything.
The rope breaks more.
At a
Yes.
perfect time.
Yeah, it does. And they could have stopped it many times. I'm like, just kick a little harder than grab the ledge.
Right.
Yeah,
But we got to wait for this rope
we
to
got to
break.
rape this bro. Yeah, 20 minutes later. She's in a toga dress. Coyote's got her in a toga. Now the coyote's all dressed up, though.
The room starts to flood.
The room, yeah, oh, that's right. The room that they're in, that they're swinging, starts to flood with boiling water. Don't know where that comes from.
I'm
In a
assuming they're
mountain.
swinging for 30 minutes. The room has gone up about this much.
yes.
They had a week of swinging before they were
You're
remotely
right.
even.
I forgot that was even a thing. It
Yeah,
was like the
it's-
water's rising, but it
I
never
think,
rose.
I think the producers, the directors, everyone forgot that the room was supposed to be flooding. And they were just like, what?
Or it was a safety concern. Like somebody came in and were like, you can't flood it past this level. They're like, ah, shit. Maybe they'll forget. And the editor just didn't
terrible.
cut it out. Coyote's dressed up. They run into the frickin' room right before. It's so anticlimactic. He's going to stab her. They run into the room. Max actually shoots. He shoots straight for one time. He shoots him right in the middle of the chest with makeup that looks like my child did it.
Right.
It is the worst freaking makeup until the movie we do next week. So you're like, oh, Firewalker just died that
What is
easily.
the trigger for the doors in this temple?
Yeah, it's your mind, I think. It's they're like Star Wars doors. They
It's
just know.
amazing.
They just know what's happening.
I didn't
in these
mean
doors.
to interrupt you there.
No,
but
no.
Every
it's true.
time they come up to a doorway, it either opens just in time
Yeah.
or it closes right in front of them.
Yeah, well, when
like,
you
is there a trigger?
When you were
somewhere?
gone, like I was saying, like the girl walks through the door and it just closes,
Right.
and he's like, "Ha ha ha! ha, you fell into my trap." What? Who's controlling this shit? It's like Resident Evil.
Right.
When you kill like a big guy, the door suddenly opens. You're like, "Who opened that door?"
Right.
That shouldn't have done. Anyway, they shoot the son of a gun. She puts the knife inside. Chuck's like, it's over here. He's trying to spin this big Mayan head. She's like, it's probably here, you idiot. And she puts a knife in the thing. Sarcophagus slides. They walk down it.
Goonies
Gold.
moment. Goonies moment.
I don't think I had. Yeah, Goonies moment for sure.
Yeah.
They're just ecstatic. They're like bouncing around
Find the
like
gold.
little boys.
There's a ton of gold. In fact, there's so much gold that I think to myself, how are two guys and a woman on
with five burlap sacks.
foot gonna take all of this gold that weighs so much? Gold is so
They're
heavy.
in this room that is just gold everywhere. I had it on here, but it was a really low quality pic, so it just looked bad. There's gold everywhere, and they just go, "We better get this packed up." Cut to them coming out of the hole, and each guy has 2 bags, 2 burlap sacks, and she has 1. They don't even look that heavy. They're just like, F you. You should have been like, too bad. All they had to do was be like, we'll come back for the rest, or that only got a third of it, or they could have just something. They could have said, no, they're just celebrating. They're all so happy. They don't notice that fucking Coyote is nowhere to be seen.
Nowhere.
He was laying right there in his ceremonial Mayan garb, even though he's Indian, Native American. Not sure.
I'm not getting into that one.
He Chuck. Let's see.
I said enough Indian style.
He gets up.
I'm not pushing the envelope anymore.
He gets up. Suddenly, he jumps up. He gets Leo in the skull. crushing position.
Skull
against the wall.
crusher.
We've seen this before. The skull crushing.
The
position.
Von Erich claw.
The claw is back. Zac Efron taught him well. Chuck calls him out. Then he gets into the skull. Then he gets into the skull crush. Now he's crushing Chuck's skull. And Pat stabs him in the back
With the dagger?
With the dagger. And then Chuck just kicks the hell out
Bruce
of him.
Lee kicks the crap out of him.
Like, yeah.
The
but
growl and everything.
it's like the only best like stuff he does in the entire movie is this. Kicks the hell out of him. Then they leave him with the knife and pull the knife out.
Right.
You gonna let another Firewalker find this GD knife, you idiots?
But then she sprinkles the.
She sprinkles
Eats all those,
the bones and dust.
Yep, and magic.
Magic. And magic.
That's what I was like. What are they doing? Take this dagger. That's
Yeah.
the dagger that he wants.
I was like, that's
to get
the
and
next,
then he burns.
The next guy that shows up, Ed from Northern Exposure, is like, I want to be the Firewalker. There's the dagger.
Right.
But yeah, she sprinkles the dust and bones and magic, and
Right.
it just lights up like 2 gallons of gasoline. Report on it.
I feel like we nailed this movie.
I think
like
so.
the description.
I think so too. Let's see. I think that's it. Cut to a sailboat.
Yep, they're
Is that
on the
right?
yacht.
They're on the yacht. We see the yacht outside of a just coastal paradise.
Max says, from now on, life is going to be one big piece of cake. Then
That's
we see the
right.
general in the background.
And then they see it's pretty well done actually. You see some people at the bar
Setting it up for
and they
part
move
two.
part 2 that never happened.
Never happened.
Now here's my thing. People are always rebooting movies that did well, that people love.
Right.
Not saying they're great.
This one
movies.
could have been saved.
Roadhouse.
A reboot would be perfect.
Yeah, I'm going to say, and stop rebooting movies that people already love, and reboot Firewalker.
Right.
Because Firewalker could actually work, and like I said, it
But I
was.
think they did reboot it, and it's called King Solomon's Mine. It was better.
I don't know which came first, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, it was the same director. But this premise is fine, short of the hokey Native American stuff. We don't really need that in it. But now
Keep it with one. Keep it with Native American, or Mayan, or
maybe.
But don't bring them all three in because they're not. It's 3 completely different
You
civilizations.
actually could keep it Native American if you did it correctly, and
Right.
the Native American was like doing things with real purpose.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not just like a stereotypical, I want to be a Firewalker. It was
Right.
more like, this is my culture, this is my heritage. You don't have any part. You shouldn't have any part of this.
Right.
You could play it seriously, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, reboot this, man. Let's make a Firewalker movie. Kickstart me. Let's do Firewalker. Let's get Marky Mark in there. Maybe Marky Mark and the wisecracking guy from Ant-Man. Be a great group. Yes, we have to ask ourselves at the end of this podcast, as we always do, does this movie really tie the room together? And I say, I'd never seen this except for the memory of watching the end of it with my father, and I say absolutely yes. I don't. You should watch it. I think it's worth a watch because of how horribly done it is.
I thought I had a good.
I had a good time.
despite everything.
Despite
all the
everything.
flaws, I still had a good time.
I did
I
too.
think it was Louis Gossett Jr. that really.
He's great.
He was my wet. He was my warm blanket.
Yes,
that-
he looks
that-
great on
that
screen.
It kept me in it.
He never loses on screen. Like he's always, and that's what made Chuck look so bad.
Chuck is terrible in this movie.
If Chuck would have been with another loser like he usually,
Yeah,
you would have never known the difference.
But no.
But because he's with Lou,
It's
God. Lou is just a machine, just a charisma machine. The
Chuck
worst
has
lines in the
zero
world
charisma.
that he says, even when he's like, "Ha ha ha, sea serpents," you're still like, "Yeah, man, I believe this guy."
Chuck is the worst. The worst, dude. It's terrible.
But yeah, I suggest watching it. I thought I had a really good time,
Yeah.
and it kind of ties the room together. So that's my take.
Yeah, it's worth a watch.
All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for listening. Tell your friends if you enjoy any part of this at all.
Any
Part of it all. Please like and subscribe and let other people know. See you next time in your ears and your eyes.